Alright folks, so this is my Suzuki DR350S. It's a 1990 model, Kickstarter. Bought it off a guy about a month ago. Needs some work. Right now it's having trouble starting, so I'm going to do a compression test today to see what's going on in the engine. Might be just in need of a top-end service. Engine might be fine, I'm not sure, but it's certainly hard to start. And there was some oil on the spark plug last time I looked at it. So something's going on in there, so we're going to find out. So we're going to do a compression test today and see what's going on. Okay, so we got the tank off. Let me go ahead and pull this spark plug out. Don't need this long of an extension, but that's just what's handy. Now it's good practice to get an air compressor or a vacuum or something and vacuum up all the dust around the spark plugs. When you take it out, you don't want dust, dirt, all sorts of stuff getting in there. But I cleaned it out the other day, so it's clean. Doesn't look as bad as the spark plug I pulled out a while ago, so there's not as much oil on it as the last one, but this one's pretty fresh. I've only run it a few times. So I got this tool on Amazon, about 25 bucks or so. I had a gift card. Figured what better use than this. We'll see if it works. Seems pretty high quality for the cheap price, but sometimes looks can be misleading. So got the spark plug wire disconnected. I've got the ignition off and the key off. So motor should not start. Up here so I can see it. Maybe zip tie that on. So I've got the throttle wide open and it's not doing good. Probably showing about 80 psi. 120 would be nice, somewhere up in that range. The motor is cold, so that will affect things a little bit. We're just over 100 now, about 105. Yeah, holding steady about 105, so that's not terrific. There we go. About 115 or so. My legs are getting tired. I probably shouldn't have to kick it that much. Let's build up that much compression. Could be wrong. Cool. Little Schrader valve there. So I'll do it again. See what we get up to. 25. There's 50. There's about 70. That was a bad kick. 75. Right at 100. Got 105 again. So what was that, about 8 or 9 kicks probably? So it's building compression. Seems like it's building it up pretty slow. Although I will admit I'm not an expert on motorcycles. But from everything I've read, should be well up into the 120 range. And we're not even getting there, getting barely over 100. And that's with several kicks. So that might explain why it's a hard starter. Takes a little while to build up enough compression. Alright, so what I'm going to do is pour just a small amount of oil into the spark plug hole, and this will tell me as if the piston ring is bad or if the valves are bad. So the oil will temporarily kind of seal up around the piston ring for just a few kicks. So if I notice a substantial increase in pressure, kicking it with a little bit of oil in there, then that'll tell me that the piston ring is worn out and needs to be replaced. If not, then my valves are out of adjustment. I don't know the history behind this bike, so it could go either way. That funnel is a little too large for this. That funnel is small enough, but the angle is pretty weird, so I'll just be really careful here to not spill this oil everywhere, and I'll probably just pour some in the cap that way. I don't make a huge mess if I screw this up. I'll do this 2 times. Not a lot. 2 capfuls. That should tell me all I need to know. Move the bike over just a little bit better angle here. As I talk about not making a mess, I make a huge mess right here. Sorry of my life. You know, it's not like this garage hadn't seen oil on it before. Okay, so we've got a bad piston ring. 2 kicks, or 3 kicks, whatever that was, 2.5. I'm well over 100 PSI. 125. 130. About 150. So, it tells me all I need to know. So I'm going to Put this back together, kick it through a few times, see if I can get that oil out of the combustion chamber and see if I can get it started up. Just because I want to run it today, no other reason. But it'd be good to get that oil out of the top end of that cylinder no matter what. So there we go. Proof that it runs. Took forever to start, overcome all that oil in the cylinder. She's running.